Blessed risings, good afternoon, or good evening. Depending on where in the world you are tapping in from, you got to keep in mind that KPP Podcast is a global show, and today we'll be discussing Tokyo Station employee tells passengers to use rear train cars if they do not want to get groped or finger banged. Sorry for the educators and the scholars that are watching this program. You know we attempt to keep it PG in every way possible, but as any program that you are allowing your children to watch nowadays, some things may slip through the cracks. Unlike those other shows, they have many cracks. And these cracks are just talking about blacks, the blacks that don't crack. We will talk about this and more when we return after these extremely brief messages in regards to $20 trillion. ZeroAntiBlackRacism.com. Go there and find out more about the $20 trillion I am referring to. You can sign up for that if you would like.
Be one to the family. This is Kendra Blackwood of Hot Lava Music TV and the Hot Lava Media Group. And I come to you today with an urgent call to action. And with that being said, this petition is to demand the US government immediately make anti-black racism a public health crisis, is now an active campaign at change.org. And after this message I'm going to need you to go over there and show your support. Right after you smash that like and subscribe if you have not already. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications. It doesn't cost you a thing. Now, this is a petition to demand cash reparations for foundational Black Americans addressing two critical components. So what is anti-Black racism? Anti-Black racism is defined here as policies and practices rooted in American institutions such as government, finance, education, healthcare, and justice that mirror and reinforce economic deprivation, racially targeted laws, beliefs, attitudes, prejudice, stereotyping and/or discrimination toward foundational Black Americans. What is a public health crisis, you ask? Well, a health crisis or public health crisis is a difficult situation or complex health system that affects humans in one or more geographic areas, from a particular locality to encompass the entire planet. Health crises generally have significant impacts on community health, loss of life, and on the economy. And ultimately the solution to the problem, it is imperative that the United States government declare anti-Black racism a public health crisis for foundational Black Americans. In 2020, as a community, Asian Americans experienced only 287 hate crimes nationwide. However, FBA in the same year suffered 2,871 reported hate crimes.
Ooh, she was dropping gems. More gems, more diamonds over there at ZeroAntiBlackRacism.com. This article is from our buddies over there at Next Shark, who always have all the Asian persuasion and Mexicano news, mostly all the Asian persuasion news. This is out of Rebecca Moon, who is a contributor on a regular basis. A Tokyo train station employee is facing backlash for an announcement he made instructing passengers to take the rear train cars if they do not want to be groped. Yeah, this isn't really news. We already knew your homeboys is all over hyperdrive sexualized. I mean, that's obvious with all the spas, sex dens, the human trafficking, all the drugs coming from Asia. I mean, everything I'm saying is true, though. But we will put an alleged on there if it makes Poop Tube feel better, and so they don't try to block my content. But we see all the spas, the saunas, the massage parlors, right? Okay. Okay, right. Chained in the back. But let's pretend like it's not true. Like we don't know that this is happening. They get paid to do all the gropey, tuggy, pulley. And now, what kind of grope? You just talking about somebody bumping up against somebody's butt? No, you talking about these nasty dudes is on the train almost finger banging chicks. Let's be real. Y'all almost raping chicks on the train. Right? But what they won't tell you, and why I'm telling you this is a non-story, we already know how super sexualized, hypersexualized that the culture can be. The model citizen culture can be. Why you think they the model citizens? We gonna bust you down with that income. You gonna follow directions, and you gonna sucky, tucky whenever I say. May you feel good? You want to feel good? Go to America? Right. Sucky. Right. Right. But what they not telling you is they actually have a lot of women only trains where women can only ride in that train car. They also have them in India as well. But they ain't going to talk about that. So, are you in fact talking about that women are getting groped on the women only trains by other women? But you won't talk about that news story though, because you don't want that alphabet crew coming down on you. What you gonna do when the alphabet crew runs wild on you? Goes on to say in a video taken on August 30th at the Shinjuku Station in downtown Tokyo, a station worker is seen making an announcement via the PA system stating, "We have many security cameras installed, but there are many chikan." What's that? What's them cholos? We have many cholos. We have many chicans. Passengers who do not want to be groped, please make use of the rear carriages. What about passengers? And you're talking to all passengers. So are men on there groping men? You're not talking about that. Is women on there groping women? Because once again, they're not telling you that in Tokyo, they have women only train cars. Not going to tell you that though. During the evening rush hour, gropers, also known as chikans, in Japan are typically seen in the front cars, which are the most crowded. Train stations in Japan often have posters stating that groping is a crime. Once again, this isn't new. They've been telling them that, right? This been going on for years. Since I believe like the 60s, bro. Goes on to say East Japan Railway Company issued an apology on Thursday explaining that the announcement did not have any negative intentions. The intent was to guide passengers towards less crowded carriages, but a portion of the announcement was inappropriate. We deeply apologize to those who were made uncomfortable by the statement, JR East stated. Who's JR? Is that the company? Japan Railroad East? Okay, stated. All right. Because you called them East Japan Railway Company, and they're calling them JR East. So it's Japan Railroad East Company, apparently. It goes on to say the employee's choice of words prompted backlash as many Twitter users pointed out that the announcement was inappropriate. How you know? There could be visitors there, and fam's like, yo, if you didn't know, you might want to go to some of them cars in the back because they up here touchy filly, and you might get an unwanted finger bang. You might get a attempted raping on this front car, right? Y'all blowing it up. You pump it up. But what you're not blowing up and what you're not talking about is how hypersexualized the culture is. And how you allow them to come over and put the sex dens everywhere. And then had a nerve to look at black people and talk about crime. You got some nerve. It goes on to say, they say people who don't want to be molested should move, but they didn't say people who don't want to be suspected of being molested, please move. One user wrote, lack common sense, another user commented. I think there could be a better way to say, another user wrote. Well, it's not always, it's always not what you say, but how you say it, but we already knew this. And once again, they didn't let you know there are women-only train cars. So once again, are we talking about the alphabet crew running wild? So is there groping and molesting going on the women-only Tokyo Station train cars? That's the question. And I'm done with this. What did we learn here today, boys and girls? Nothing. If you're FBA, this article taught you nothing. And guess what? That's what I'm speaking to. And this taught you absolutely nothing. Nothing FBA didn't already know. Yeah, that's right. And I'm letting you know that we know. So now you know we know. But we've been known. Why you have been choosing them as the model citizens. We've already known. And now everybody else is just now starting to figure it out. But I'm not going to hold you. I'm just going to mold you, fold you, and scold you about being off cold there, Jackson. And as always, we leave you with four precious words. Love, peace. This peace, sometimes you got to use it to get this peace. Blessings. Give a blessing. Be a blessing. But most importantly, don't be too full of yourself to accept a blessing. And Maloha. Full circle. 360 degrees. Get the mathematics now there, boy. We love y'all. Thanks for tapping in. Take these commercials. And if you think you might want a piece of that $20 trillion, go ahead and sign that petition scrolling on the bottom there. Take that.
We need to go out here and say exactly what we want. And we got to say it with our chest. And we kind of start pussyfooting around, and we got to stop being scared to say exactly what we want, what we need. We need that paper. Say it with your chest. Damn all that. We need justice. We need y'all to love us. No. We don't need that.